How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, thank
Good.
you. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So, you want to get into the interview here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So, we all know you become one of the best kickers in the country, especially for your class. So it had to start somewhere. So, how did you get into kicking?
Yeah. I played like most kickers. I played soccer my whole life, and then my brother, he was kind of going out for football his ninth grade year, and I guess some of his friends just told him, maybe try out kicking, since he played soccer. So he tried out and he liked it, and he kind of came home and told us all what he was doing. I thought it was cool, so I went out and tried it, and I guess kind of the rest is history. I kind of enjoyed it. Saw I could go to college for free doing it, so I just kept on, practicing and pretty much every day, and then turned out I was pretty good at it, so I just kind of stuck with it, and we're here now.
Yeah. I mean, I like kicking because it's the only position I can play in football. Thanks, mom. But yeah, it's always fun. Like I go out in the backyard with the tee sometimes and I kick it. It's always good to
Yeah.
see it go through your target. I
No.
use a big tree, so.
Yeah.
um, so in 2018, you participated in the Under Armour All American game. Just what was that experience like for you, and what were some of your favorite moments from it?
Yeah. So, I mean, in high school, that was kind of my main goal, was to play in that game, and just having the opportunity to play in it was really special for me. I'd say just some of my favorite moments, away from practice and all that, was just getting to kind of hang out with all the guys, because you know that you're gonna like be seeing all of them at the next level. Kind of just getting to like play ping pong or playing basketball with all those guys. So that was a really fun experience. Other than that, the skills challenge that we did, that was a lot of fun. And just practicing and just being there with, all those high level guys. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, so after that, you committed to Florida. I know your relationship is really close with Dan Mullen. Uh,
Yeah.
what led you to committing to Florida over all the other schools that wanted you?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, a lot of people know that I was committed to Coach Mullen in Mississippi State. You know, one reason I really liked Mississippi State was just because it was pretty close to home, and then I really got to know like his whole coaching staff and kind of built a bond with them. Um, and so, you know, going into college, I wanted to play championship level football. I wanted to be on a really good team, and I thought Mississippi State they're doing that. I just knew it was kind of harder to recruit good players to Mississippi. um, but with him going to Florida, I obviously saw a lot of opportunities there, just to come in right away and play because that's what I wanted to do. And obviously, you can recruit kind of high level guys to come to Florida because it's kind of the premier kind of college football team. So I guess I just saw a lot of opportunity there, and I already loved the coaching staff, had a great bond with them, and it was honestly an easy decision to come here, and I'm really glad I did because everything pretty turned out pretty well, I'd say.
For sure. And you got to play on the same field as, Tim Tebow and, guys like Emmett Smith, I believe, too. And, I mean, I met you at Ben Griffin Hill Stadium there.
Hmm.
And just, it's open to the public, and it's amazing because you can just walk in there. And that's one of the best stadiums in college
Yeah.
football. And the atmosphere there is great, too. Did you have a kind of a welcome to the show moment at Florida?
Yeah. Um, you know, I guess my welcome to the show moment is kind of like my first game, I guess. I got to hit I think it was only like a 26 or so like yard field goal, but my first game in the swamp, it was a night game, so I mean, I think everybody knows that night games in the swamp are kind of different. We had a full crowd, and after getting that first field goal and just hearing the crowd erupt, it's kind of just a surreal moment. It's exciting for me to maybe get the nerves out, get that first field goal under my belt, and you know just making that first field goal, and I guess having the crowd behind me, my teammates behind me, just gave me the confidence, to kind of go forward with all my other field goals. But yeah, I mean, I'd say that, and then just shoot. I mean, the Auburn game for me was obviously, you ask anybody, that was probably the craziest. I know it was my second year, but that was one of the craziest games in the swamp that I've ever been a part of.
Yeah, and there's some crazy ones there. I'm from Iowa, so I got to go to a lot at Kinnick Stadium. I got to be part of the Wave, so I beat Ohio State. And then you see these Florida games too. Like, those are some of the best atmospheres in college football. And I can't imagine like those nerves, especially like replacing Eddie Pinheiro, one of the best kickers in Florida history. What was your mindset going into replacing a guy like that who's now in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, I guess anybody that is asked, are you nervous going in to replace like such a great kicker? It's kind of just you're going in to pave your own path and kind of create your own legacy. And so you try not to think about comparing yourself to these guys, but kind of in the end, kind of where I am now, I can kind of go back and kind of see what those guys did compared to what I did. And hopefully, people see me as one of the best kickers in Florida history, and that's what I wanted to kind of accomplish coming into school. I think I did. We'll just see what everybody else thinks.
Well, yeah, and it's pretty obvious. As a freshman, you came through, and I believe last year only missed one kick, and being able to replace a guy like Eddie Pinheiro, now they got to come in and replace a guy like Evan McPherson. And so you have had a bunch of experiences, of course, over the past few years at Florida, and they were, especially with you guys having a great year this year. What were some of your favorite games and moments from your time with the Gators?
Yeah, so obviously, like I mentioned, the Auburn game was one of my favorite moments, but also like the LSU game, my first year. That was a crazy moment in the swamp, and just getting to be a part of 3 New Year's Six bowls. That was really special because not a lot of teams get to be a part of it. And the SEC championship game has always been kind of a goal of mine and our team, and just getting to go to it this year, that was super special for us. But I mean, other than that, just kind of getting to be around kind of all my teammates, and just around all the great coaches that we have, and just building bonds with everybody. Those kind of the moments that I'll remember forever. But yeah, I'd say the games I mentioned were probably my favorite moments.
So I totally forgot to ask you here. So what was your favorite NFL team growing up?
Growing up, I always was a kind of a Randy Moss and Tom Brady fan, and so I always followed the Patriots. Growing up, I always had if Tom Brady was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, I'll always cut it out and put it on my wall. So I'd say I'm a Patriots fan growing up.
Yeah, that's pretty fun. I know I got the Sports Illustrated coming every week, and cut some stuff out too. I'm a Cubs fan in baseball, so they had a Chris Bryant poster a few years back, and that's still up there in my room. These teams bring such great memories to you. And I was reading an article on you too. You would study film of kickers, look at their progressions, their routines. And so who were some of those kickers that you would watch?
Yeah, so I mean, I would say almost anybody, any other kicker. Justin Tucker is kind of that standard for us, and we all kind of look up to him and kind of watch his film, because whatever he's doing he's doing it right. He's kind of one of the best kickers to ever do it. Other than him, I love Will Lutz with the Saints. I've gotten to meet him personally, and kind of get to talk to him So he's another guy that, I love his form and kind of what he does, how he strikes the ball. So I'd say those two are my top two guys to go to in watching film and stuff.
Yeah, and Lutz just had a big victory over my Bears yesterday. That was pretty disappointing. But it was so weird. Like, I tuned into the Nickelodeon broadcast. I never thought I'd hear so much about slime in one football game. That was kind of weird. So, and now you're going to get to go up there and be like these guys. You declared for the NFL draft here after your junior year. What led you to make this decision?
Yeah, just the consistency I was able to show over these past 3 years, and kind of my mindset knowing that I can do this, and I've wanted to ever since I started kicking out. The NFL is kind of everyone's goal, and kind of just seeing the opportunities in this draft to hopefully be drafted. I saw that as an opportunity, and just like I said, it's just being my main goal, and it's attainable this year. And I thought it was the best time for me. And just talking, with my parents, with coaches, I just saw, that, why not now? I probably could have waited, but why not now? I think I'm ready. I'm super excited. I just started training, so I'm ready to go. The combine and pro day, and I'm just ready to perform for all these teams and just show them, what kind of kicker they're going to get.
The next Justin Tucker. So, how are you going about preparing for the draft and the combine? That's going to be a whole another experience for you, a whole new set of nerves, but it seems like you've gone through stuff like this before. So how do you go about preparing for these types of things?
Yeah. So, it's not that much different from, maybe off-season training I've been through before. You're just kicking three times a week, and then kind of lifting and running 4 to 5 times a week, just kind of stay in shape. So, I'm honestly just doing the same things that I have been doing. I'll go see my kicking coach every other week, and we'll kind of work on stuff that, these scouts or coaches kind of want to see from me. We do know those things, so every time I see him, we're just going to kind of go over those things, make sure I got it all figured out, kind of leading up to the combine.
Yeah, and so now, after I've asked those questions, it's time to get down to the really important ones to finish out this interview, and those are the would you rathers. You up for it?
All right, yeah, that sounds like fun.
All right, so would you rather kick a 30-yard game-winning field goal or 4 50-plus yarders in one game?
Jeez. That's tough. But, I've never really gotten to kick a true walk-off game winner. So I think a 30-yard game winner sounds pretty fun just because I'm kind of helping the team kind of win and kind of end the game. But if the 4 50-plus yarders and we still win the game, I think I'd rather do that, honestly, because that's really impressive.
Yeah, and so this tells a lot about a person. Would you rather go to the beach or to the mountains?
So, as of lately, I would love to go to the mountains. I've been telling everybody that, I've been seeing all these people, go to these ski resorts and go snowboarding and all that. And I was like, that's literally all I want to do right now. So, right now, I would love to go to the mountain.
You and my dad would get along great. And then last but not least, would you rather eat Italian or Mexican food?
Mexican. I love Mexican food, and I'm sure if you talk to anybody that I know, back in high school, I'd eat Mexican at least 3 times a week. Yeah, I love Mexican. I know, people back in Alabama, you may call it queso, but I call it cheese dip where I'm from, and so I get a lot a lot of criticism for calling it cheese dip around here, but I love cheese dip. Freaking sweet tea. Love me some nice little beef burrito with rice and cheese. Can't go wrong with it.
All right. Well, if you're ever in Iowa, there's this place called Cabo's. It's really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Eldridge, Iowa. My mom loves it here. So that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. So good luck with the draft. Thank you again. And yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Evan.